All right, let's take a look at the real number system. All right, we have rational and irrational numbers. Irrational ones are the ones that can't be written as a fraction. They're pretty nasty. All right, and then we have the rational numbers. Those are kind of the regular numbers that we're working with today. Natural numbers are the baby counting ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whole numbers, they added, it's counting numbers, but they added the number 0 to it. And then integers adds those same numbers plus the negatives. So let's take a look at our options here. I've got a -4. If it's negative and a whole number, it's going under an integer. That also means that it is rational. All right, 6. 6 was a natural number. You could count that. So that means it's also a whole number. Could be an integer. So it's rational. Now 1/2. 1/2 is not a whole number. It is rational only. Rational numbers can be written as a fraction. All right, this decimal, 0.764, that actually, if I say that out loud, that is 764 thousandths, which can be written as a fraction. So that is going under rational. All right, the next one is the square root of 5. If you put that in your calculator, you're going to notice, woo, it is pretty disgusting. It's going way over here. All right, it's just a decimal that keeps on going. There's no pattern. It can't be written as a fraction. All right, I know that the number 0 is part of the whole numbers, not natural, but whole. So that makes it an integer and also rational. Pi, put pi in a calculator. Woo, 3.14, 159 just keeps going. It goes over here. I cannot write that as a fraction. And the last one I can also not write as a fraction is 4.5676103, and it keeps going. It just has no pattern, no rhyme or reason. It's pretty nasty. There you have it. All right, now 4 7s. Practice using your calculator. This is 4 divided by 7. So you would put the 4 in the calculator first, then hit divide, then 7. There it is. And it is a gross number. But you know what? It doesn't matter because we're using a calculator. If you did it old-fashioned, old school, here you go. There, you could start dividing like that, but it would be pretty nasty. So here's the answer. 5714286. I'm going to stop there. That's pretty gross. But don't worry about it. It'll be a nice one on the quiz, and you've got a calculator. All right, let's go on to 3. We're going to use the scoreboard. Here we go. The problem most people had was figuring out what sign. So if you notice, this goes together. So it goes over here. This goes with the positives. This one goes over here. Some people have trouble. This is where they messed up because they thought that was a minus sign. Did you know a minus sign is the same thing as a negative? It's also the same thing as opposite. All those mean the same thing. So all I have to do is kind of total this up. I'd get 2.81 compared to 1.9. If I said, who's going to win? The negatives are going to win by 0.91. You find the difference between those two. There it is. All right, let's go on over to the fractions. Same thing, positive, negative, because I'm adding or subtracting. But I am going to change this problem. I don't want to deal with mixed. So 4 times 2 is 8 plus 3. 8, 9, 10, 11 goes right there. Then I can rewrite it. Also, if I'm going to add or subtract fractions, I better make sure they have a common denominator. I know I can make this one into 8s, and then look, they would match, right? All right, so I multiplied this by 2, so I'm going to do that to the top and get 22. And this goes with it right there. So the 1/8 is positive, and my 22/8 is negative. So the negatives are going to win by 21/8. That's it. You guys are doing awesome. All right, last one. Feel free to use your calculator. Don't forget that the larger the number is, if it's negative, that actually means it's less, right? A -10 is less than a -2, which I know is the opposite of what our brains usually think, huh? All right, so let's go ahead and check this out. So I have 0.3, and it's negative, compared to, now take 1 divided by 3. Do you notice that this just keeps going and going and going? Yeah, it repeats. So I have, these are more negatives compared to this one. So believe it or not, 0.3, if it's negative, it's actually greater than a negative 1.3. Or sorry, 1 divided by 3. You got it. All right, you guys are doing great. Nice job practicing.